As the new Bleach, the 1000-Year Blood War Season 3 is coming out. We decided to create a recap-like ranking for all the captains of the Sarate. Without further ado, let's get started. Lisa finds herself at the bottom of this list, but let's be clear, being a captain is no easy accomplishment. So, her position here doesn't mean she's lacking in strength. Every captain on this list is a master of swordsmanship, kaido, shunpo, and more. They wield immense spiritual pressure, along with incredible strength, durability, and endurance. Lisa's journey saw her rise from being Shunsui's lieutenant to becoming the captain of the 8th Division. She has honed her Zanpakuto skills to the point where she can effortlessly switch between her left and right hand in battle. Her expertise was on full display during the battles with the Espada and later in the 1000-Year Blood War arc. Unfortunately, due to the limited time we've seen her in battle, often being interrupted or ending up on the losing side, she ranks lower on this list compared to the other captains. However, this does not diminish her strength. Lisa is still a formidable force. Next on the list is another of the Vizard captains, Love Akawa, the former captain of the 7th Division. Love is a true powerhouse, and we've witnessed his incredible strength firsthand, literally. Love may be one of the most laid-back captains on this list, but don't let his relaxed demeanor fool you. He's highly skilled and brings a wealth of experience to the table. He's also a master strategist, often turning the tide of battle in his favor. Like Lisa, Love gains a substantial boost in power through holification, although he can only maintain it for 3 minutes less time than Lisa. That said, Love hasn't secured any major victories. His most notable battle was against Stack, where he and Rose managed to survive, though it was ultimately Shunsui who delivered the final blow. We also saw him face Eizen later on, but unfortunately, he was no match for him. Now that we've mentioned Love's battle against Stack and how he fought alongside Rose, it's time to talk about Rose himself. He currently serves as the captain of the 3rd Division, a clear indication that his abilities rank among the best. As a Vizard, he also possesses holification, giving his powers a significant boost, though, like Love, he can only maintain his hollow mask for 3 minutes. We've seen Rose, like the other Vizard captains, easily take down high-level hollows, which is no small feat. During his battle alongside Love against Stack, however, the two were clearly outmatched. For much of the fight, Rose was more of a bystander, even getting trapped under rubble from another skirmish. Though he eventually joined the fray and survived, both he and Love struggled, particularly against Stack's wolves. Rose's true capabilities were on display in his battle against Masked Demasculine. His Bankai, featuring his Sea Drift and Prometheus abilities, was impressive. But just as he was about to unleash his full power, Masked Demasculine burst his own eardrums, rendering Rose's Bankai useless. Rose was then struck by Mask's Star Flash attack and only avoided defeat thanks to Renji's intervention. Although Rose lost in his most notable fight, the demonstration of his powers and Bankai was more than enough to place him above the previous 2 Vizard captains on this list. Jinrei Kuchiki is next up and was the former captain of the 6th Division over 110 years ago. And though there is a lot about him we don't really know, when it comes to power, we feel there is enough information to give him a deserved place on this list. It must also be noted that he was a significant figure in the Soul Society and likely present at many key events, including the promotion ceremony of the newly appointed 12th Division Captain Kisuke Urahara. However, his specific presence at that ceremony isn't confirmed in the source material. Kensei Moguruma is another Vizard on our list who was stripped of his captaincy, only to have it reinstated after Aizen's defeat. Kensei is undeniably a formidable Shinigami, with his brute power and strength most evident in close combat. While Kensei excels in physical hand-to-hand combat, his strength isn't his only asset. His keen battlefield awareness often gives him an edge over his opponents. Though he favors hand-to-hand combat, what makes Kensei truly impressive is his ability to seamlessly integrate his fighting style with his swordsmanship, combining the two with lethal efficiency. As a Vizard, Kensei also possesses holification powers, which significantly enhance his Shinigami abilities. His punches become even more potent as his fists are enveloped in spiritual energy. He can maintain his hollow mask for 5 minutes at a time, giving him a considerable boost in combat. Of all the Vizard we've discussed so far, Kensei undoubtedly stands out due to his sheer strength. Kaname Tozen takes the next spot on our list, and you could argue that he's the first true odd captain we've covered today. He was the former captain of the 9th Division before his betrayal of the Soul Society alongside Jinikimaru and Sasuke Aizen. Kaname's powers are unique and centered around manipulating his opponent's senses. Before his holification, his abilities were focused on overwhelming his enemy's senses. His Shikai could completely incapacitate an opponent by overwhelming their hearing to the point of unconsciousness, while his Bankai created a space that deprived his opponent of all senses except touch. However, the sense of touch is also the weakness of his Bankai, as we saw in his fight against Kenpachi Zaraki. Kaname's holification and resurrection make him an even more lethal threat, particularly in his fight against both Kamura and Hisagi. Utilizing all his holification abilities, including power enhancement and high-speed regeneration, Kaname was able to match Kamura's Bankai while holified. But he truly escalated the fight when he unleashed his resurrection, transforming into a fearsome insect-like creature. Kaname was undoubtedly a very strong character. If we were to rank him based solely on his Shinigami powers, he might have landed further down the list. However, when you factor in his holification and resurrection, he definitely earns his place on this list, but no higher. Following Kaname on our list is Kamura, the former captain of the 7th Division. Kamura is a truly unique captain, not only because of his wolf-like appearance, but also due to his extraordinary powers. While he is, of course, a master swordsman with expert knowledge in Kaido and Shunpo, it's his Bankai that truly sets him apart. One of his earliest notable battles was against Kenpachi in the Soul Society arc, where he managed to block Kenpachi's strike with his arm and helmet, leading to the dramatic reveal of Kamura's true appearance. Kamura's final battle was against Bambietta, where we witnessed the incredible Kokujo Tenjin Mayu Dangaijo. In this form, his Bankai sheds its armor, dramatically increasing its destructive power and making it nearly invulnerable to physical harm. However, this form is only achievable through the humanization technique, where Kamura sheds his beast form and returns to his human one at the cost of removing his own heart. This transformation is covered in chapter 556 of the manga and illustrates his commitment to protecting the Soul Society. Kamura is undoubtedly one of the strongest captains and remains one of my personal favorites. His unique abilities and compelling story make him an unforgettable character, and his powers are a true spectacle to behold. Rukia Kuchiki, the captain of the 13th Division, is up next. Rukia is a master of Kaido, a very competent fighter, and an expert with her Zanpakuto, a Zanpakuto that is said to be the most beautiful in all of the Soul Society. She is an ice user, similar to Hitsugaya, though different in her approach. Her Bankai, also considered the most beautiful in all of the Soul Society, turns Rukia into a literal ice queen who has the power to control the temperature around her. She has had some great battles over the course of the series and has taken a few big wins along the way. Her first major fight, I would say, was against the Espada Arenero, a battle that not only showcased what she was capable of, but also one in which we saw emotional growth. Next up is the commander of the Stealth Force and 2nd Division captain, Soifan. Soifan is a master assassin and an absolute expert in her craft. Her Shikai, Suzumabachi, is a poison that will kill her opponent if they are stabbed in the same spot twice. Now, the interesting thing about Soifan and her style of combat is the stark contrast with her Bankai, which is so different and bold that she actually refrains from using it as it damages her pride as the commander of the Stealth Force. However, her Bankai also delivers a lot of damage to her opponent. We first saw it in her battle against the Espada Barragan, and it was absolutely insane. In that same fight against Barragan, we also got to see her determination, will, an ability to remain calm and collected in the heat of battle, as she lost her left arm but continued fighting against an extremely strong opponent. Most importantly, she came out of that battle alive. Later on in this list is the captain of the 12th Division and the 2nd president of the Shinigami Research Institute, Mayuri Kyotsui. While he isn't really known all that well for his physical strength, he is certainly a master in other areas, and to be honest, that might be an understatement. Mayuri is incredibly smart, as you would expect from the Soul Society's mad scientist. Mayuri uses drugs and equipment to gain a sneaky advantage over his opponent and completely overwhelm them with his superior intellect. Mayuri Kuretsuchi may not be the first captain you'd think of in terms of sheer brawling power, but when it comes to results, he's in a league of his own. Even when Shilaporo Grants tried to take control of Mayuri's Bankai, Mayuri had already devised countermeasures. The final blow came when Shilaporo recreated himself within Nemu's body, only to be defeated by the drugs Mayuri had already infused into her, leading to his inevitable downfall. This battle is shown in episodes 194-195 of the anime and chapters 309-310 of the manga. His Bankai, Kanjiki Ashisogi Jizo, takes things to a deadly level, releasing a poison that affects everyone except Mayuri. Once inhaled, this poison begins breaking down the victim from the inside out. Mayuri's combination of extreme preparation, self-modification, and deadly strategies makes him one of the most formidable and terrifying captains in the Gotei 13. Next up is the final Visard on our list, and easily the strongest, Shinji Hirako. As the captain of Squad 5, a position he originally held over a century ago before being stripped of his rank, Shinji is a powerful leader with a wealth of experience. His Shikai is particularly tricky to face, using the power of illusion to confuse his opponents. In addition to his Shikai, Shinji also possesses hollowification powers that significantly boost his speed, strength, and endurance. His hollow mask allows him to unleash a powerful shadow blast, and he can maintain it for 5 minutes at a time. As the strongest of the Visard captains, Shinji's reinstatement as Squad 5's captain is well-deserved. Jinikimaru, the former captain of the 3rd Division, is a fascinating character who betrayed the Soul Society alongside Konan Tozen and Sasuke Eizen. A prodigy from a young age, Jin graduated from the Shinigami Academy in just a single year and quickly rose through the ranks. What truly sets Jin apart is his calm demeanor and his exceptional skill in manipulation and deception. This strategic approach often gives him a significant edge in combat. Jin's Zanpakuto, Shinso, is remarkable for its versatility, capable of extending or retracting to adapt to any combat situation. The true danger of Jin's Zanpakuto is revealed in its Bankai, Kamishini no Yari. When activated, this ability allows Shinso to extend at extreme speeds, and it contains a deadly poison that breaks down the opponent at a cellular level. Jin demonstrated his strategic acumen and formidable power when he used Kamishini no Yari against Eizen, briefly managing to seize the Hajoku. This is covered in episodes 307-309 of the anime and chapters 398-399 of the manga. Jinikimaru's abilities and accomplishments make him a deserving high-ranking member on this list, reflecting his position as one of the most formidable Shinigami in the Gotei 13. Ishen Kosaki, the former captain of the 10th Division, was a formidable and dangerous force to be reckoned with. Known for his immense strength and speed, Ishin possessed an extraordinary amount of spiritual energy and wielded a Zanpakuto capable of challenging the strongest opponents. One of the most striking demonstrations of his power was his ability to execute Onidekapin, a technique where he flicked his finger and sent Aizen crashing through multiple buildings. Ishin's Zanpakuto, Ingetsu, had some truly formidable abilities. He used Ingetsu's Shikai to unleash devastating power by spitting his own blood onto the sword, and his Getsuga Tensho was powerful enough to split Aizen down the middle, showcasing just how fearsome his attacks could be. Tōshirō Hitsugaya, the youngest Shinigami ever to be appointed as a captain in the Gotei 13, earns his place in our top 10. As the captain of the 10th Division, Hitsugaya has demonstrated exceptional leadership and combat prowess, earning a reputation as one of the most reliable and skilled captains. Hitsugaya's greatest strengths lie in his sharp intellect, instincts, and tactical acumen. While his youth sometimes leads to a more ruthless approach and emotional reactions compared to his older counterparts, he consistently proves that he can effectively handle any situation. Being the youngest captain, Hitsugaya also achieved Bankai at an early age. His Zanpakuto, Hairanmaru, gives him mastery over ice and water, enabling him to execute a wide range of formidable abilities. Despite his youth, Hitsugaya's Bankai has already proven to be a powerful asset, though it continues to develop and mature over time. Following the defeat of Eizen, Hitsugaya spent 18 months training to enhance his Bankai during the 1,000-year Blood War arc. This intensive training culminated in his battle against Gerard Valkyrie, where the results of his efforts were evident in the upgraded power of his Bankai, Daigaran Hairanmaru. Hitsugaya's impressive achievements and his potential for further growth make him a notable figure in the Gotei 13, while his future could see him climb even higher on lists ranking Shinigami by strength. His current position in the top 10 is a testament to his significant capabilities and accomplishments. The number 9 spot goes to the former 13th Division captain, Tōshirō Hitsugaya. Yukitake's skills as a swordsman were highlighted during his battle with Shunsui Kairaku against the head captain Yamamoto. Although the battle ended in a draw, with Yamamoto ultimately emerging as the victor, Yukitake and Shunsui earned great respect and praise from their master. Regarding his Zanpakuto, Yukitake possesses the best defensive capabilities among the captains. His Shikai allows him to split his blade into 2 separate swords, which can absorb incoming attacks. Unfortunately, Yukitake was afflicted with a serious illness, and we never saw him at his full potential or the full extent of his Bankai's power. Next up, we have the former captain of the 2nd Division and commander of the Stealth Force, Yori Shiin. As mentioned earlier in the video, the current captain of the 2nd Division and commander of the Stealth Force, Soyon, is only second to one other individual, and that individual is undoubtedly Yori Shiin. Yori Shiin is extraordinary and truly the master of assassination. She possesses all the attributes one would expect for someone in her role. But what makes Yori Shiin even more impressive is her flash step. Her proficiency in flash step is so remarkable that she holds the title of Flash Goddess or Flash Master. Much like Soyon, Yori Shiin has the Shunko ability, but hers is far more advanced and controlled. The difference in its use was evident in her battle against Soyon. Over time, Yori Shiin's Shunko has evolved further, demonstrated by her Thunder God battle form and Thunder Beast battle form. While Yori Shiin does possess a Zanpakuto, she rarely uses it, preferring to rely on her hand-to-hand combat skills. She is undeniably one of the strongest unarmed fighters in all of Bleach, which explains her preference for not using her Zanpakuto. The 7th spot goes to none other than Byakuya Kuchiki. He is the captain of the 6th Division and the 28th head of the Kuchiki clan. Byakuya is undeniably one of the strongest captains in Bleach. One of Byakuya's standout traits is his incredible speed, utilizing the flash step technique taught to him by Yori Shiin. His signature and highly devastating ability is called Sanka. Aside from his impressive speed, Byakuya wields one of the most unique and terrifying Zanpakuto in all of Bleach, Zendan-Zakura Keijoshi. Both his Shikai and Bankai utilize thousands of tiny petals that deliver devastating slashes to his enemies. Byakuya is also renowned for his mastery of calm and calculated decision-making. For instance, during his battle against the Espada, Yami, Byakuya lost control of his left leg due to Yami's power, which allowed him to control whatever his eyes gazed upon. Without hesitation, Byakuya severed the tendons in his left leg to prevent it from being used against him. Next up is the former 4th Division captain, Ritsu Anohana. She was one of the eldest and most experienced captains in the Gotei 13 and was renowned as the best healer in all of Soul Society. Spoilers ahead, it wasn't until the 1,000-year Blood War arc that we truly witnessed the full extent of Anohana's strength and terrifying power. Anohana was tasked with teaching the 11th Division captain, Kenpachi Zaraki, the art of Zanjutsu to help him become stronger. During a mission, Anohana encountered a young Kenpachi Zaraki, who attacked her on sight. The battle between them was so intense that Kenpachi admitted it was the first time he had ever felt fear in combat. Anohana's Bankai remains one of the great mysteries of the series. Although we didn't get to see it fully in action before her death, we know a few details. When her Bankai Minazuki is released, the blade of her Zanpakuto transforms into a thick, dark red liquid that many speculate is blood, though this is unconfirmed. This liquid is a potent acid capable of melting an opponent to the bone, as demonstrated in her battle with Kenpachi. Top 5 now, and in the 5th spot is none other than the absolute brute force that is Kenpachi Zaraki, the 11th Division captain. Where to start with Kenpachi? His entire existence revolves around battle, and his soul's driving force is to fight and become stronger. Kenpachi's Bankai is equally fearsome. When activated, it transforms him into a berserker demon, amplifying his already terrifying strength and ferocity. This transformation, however, comes at the cost of his own sense of reason, turning him into a nearly mindless powerhouse. Kenpachi Zaraki is a force of nature in battle, and his sheer might and combat skills ensure he deserves the 5th spot on this list. There are very few who can rival his strength when he's at his peak, making him a formidable opponent and a true powerhouse. Taking the 4th spot is the man, the myth, the legend Kisuke Urahara. Formerly the 12th Division Captain and President of the Shinigami Research Institute, Kisuke is nothing short of extraordinary. Urahara is arguably the smartest character in the entire series. His brilliance is evident in his role as a master strategist and tactician. He is also an innovative inventor, responsible for creating some of the most unique and powerful items in the Bleach universe, including the Hagyoku. The true testament to Urahara's power lies in his Zanpakuto, particularly his Bankai. When activated, his Bankai summons a colossal, crimson-dressed woman who grants Kisuke the ability to manipulate and reconstruct anything he desires. This includes altering the battlefield, enhancing his physical strength, or even healing himself from injuries. This incredible versatility was prominently showcased during his fight against Askin. His place at number 4 on this list is well-deserved, and it's clear that as the list gets deeper into the top ranks, the competition is truly fierce. Taking the 3rd place is none other than the current commander of the Gotei 13, Shunsui Kairaku. This man is undeniably impressive, embodying what you might call the complete package. Shunsui operates on a completely different level across all fields. His prowess makes him nearly unbeatable in combat, as he is extraordinarily powerful. Shunsui's Zanpakuto is just as remarkable as he is. Its personality is unique and somewhat capricious, revealing itself fully only during battle. This Zanpakuto will only allow Shunsui to fight at his full strength when it deems the time right. Shunsui is known to avoid using his Bankai unless absolutely necessary, and the reason for this is its devastating effect. When Shunsui activates his Bankai, an aura envelops the area, altering the perception of everyone within its range, instilling feelings of despair and sadness. The effects are so severe that they mimic the sensations of death itself. Coming in at 2nd is none other than Sasuke Aizen, the former 5th Division Captain who ascended to near god-like status following his betrayal of the Soul Society. Aizen's spiritual energy is so immense that it defies comprehension, making him one of the most powerful beings in the series. During his time as a captain, Aizen was already one of the most formidable figures in the Gotei 13. He was not only one of their strongest swordsmen, but also one of their greatest military strategists. His strength in combat was matched by his intellectual prowess, which made him a dangerous adversary. Aizen's genius is not just in his combat skills, but also in his manipulation. His intellect is unparalleled, and he uses it to deceive and betray those who trust him. His cunning allowed him to orchestrate elaborate schemes and outmaneuver his opponents consistently. He also defeated the powerhouse trio of Ishen Kosaki, Yoruichi Shihoin, and Kisuke Urahara. Aizen's abilities were so overwhelming that, had it not been for Ikago Kurosaki's sacrifice using Mugetsu, Aizen might have either destroyed or ruled over the entire world. First place goes to the absolute legend and powerhouse that is Genryusai Shichikuni Yamamoto, the former commander and founder of the Gotei 13 and the 1st Division Captain. Yamamoto's dominance is evident from his tenure as the Gotei 13's commander for over 1,000 years. His enduring leadership was a testament to the fact that no other Shinigami could surpass his strength. Despite his old age, Yamamoto's mastery over every aspect of combat was unparalleled, and he wielded the oldest Zanpakuto, Rujinjaka, a weapon so potent that it eclipsed all others in the Soul Society combined. His Zanpakuto's Shikai release alone demonstrates his immense power. With the ability to reduce anything in the universe to ashes, Yamamoto's Shikai showcases a level of destruction that is truly the highest of the high. His Bankai, Zanken no Takai, further amplifies his abilities, emitting flames so intense they obliterate everything in their path. Yamamoto's Bankai can summon the charred remnants of his past enemies, making him a terrifying opponent who can literally raise the dead to fight for him. This is one of the most fearsome abilities we've seen in the series, illustrating just how unstoppable he was. Yamamoto's power and abilities are so overwhelmingly formidable that no captain could ever hope to rival him. His status as the strongest Shinigami is unassailable, and he remains the #1, now and always. Now the video finally comes to an end. Hope it was enjoyable for you guys, since we have enjoyed the experience of gathering all the information and making a video out of it. See you all at the next one.